take 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us under the library. This is our actual play Call of Cthulhu show, set in a homebrew universe, written by our very own keeper. If you happen to enjoy what we do here on the show and would like to support it, please do so by going to DriveThruRPG and checking out our very own module. It's called The Snake's Oil and is written by that very same keeper. And it's set in Season 1 of this show. The other way you can support us is on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/underthelibrary, we would very much appreciate your help. And if you are an RPG player or GM and would like to improve the role-playing aspects of your gameplay, check out our other podcast. We just finished Season 1 of that show. It is called Up Your RPG and can be found wherever you get your podcasts. With that, let's get to a show. My name's Arthur. I'm playing Buddy. We are Chrisless again this week, so I am joined by Emily as Joe, Rick as Sam Wagoneer, Wayne as Sister B, Scott is playing Eddy, and of course, as always, our keeper is Michael. Michael, I will gratefully pass this show over to you. Please unmute.
Art, thank you for that beautiful intro. It sounds like it was well rehearsed.
It was
good job.
Very well rehearsed this week. Yikes.
Under the Library contains mature themes played by immature people. Some of those themes we are improv, so we don't know them all, but at this moment, but some of them may include harm, gore, horror, and foul language. No nudity, though. We keep all our clothes on. And yes. Oh, no.
At least from the waist up.
Yes. And with that, if you've ever watched the Minions and thought, you know what they really need is more blood, you're probably in the right place. And with that, I'll turn it over to Emily for last week's recap.
Great. So last week we started 4 weeks after season 2. In that time, Joe was staying with what, Michael?
Nothing. You fell for it.
He's messing with everybody tonight.
You're
Joe
next, Scott.
Stayed with Carly and Stephanie for that time and really had a great experience staying with people she trusted, having she built confidence and security. I'll just read what I wrote. And during that month, they also checked out the rest of the information in Richard's safe. There were dossiers on Franny and Rutherford, and a third that is all about Bloodstone. I won't review all of that information. Presumably you have watched or will watch that episode. There was also a set of passports with his photo, but many different names for many different countries, and 2 16mm reel tape from 2 different perspectives. One from the experimenters and one from the experimentees perspective. So at Carly's, Joe wakes, no nightmares. And she and Carly are talking when there's a knock at the door. Mr. Bielopushkin, a petite Russian woman who knows Carly's name, wants to come in and speak privately. Carly is suspicious, but she does end up letting her in. And as Sister B talks to her, Carly actually passes out, at which point Joe runs out and challenges the sister, wondering what was wrong with Carly. Eventually, Carly wakes and they have a conversation, realizing that the sister is Richard's sister. And Carly is actually only his half-sister, which she had never shared with Joe. Let's cut to the Eddy and Buddy show. Eddy and Buddy are in the bar Franny called in our last season looking for information about Richard. They have spent the month piecing together information about all of the strange things that have been going on in Los Alamos. And in the bar, they meet a very drunk woman who is also strikingly beautiful. She joins their table. They realize she was Casper the Magician's assistant until he disappeared. And when Eddy challenges her for canceling the show, she's so offended, she flips the table, screams, and storms out of the bar. Eddy talks to the bartender and gets a little bit of information about this woman who is Lana, who was shacked up with Casper, who is pissed that he's gone. He's been in the bar the last 2 weeks or so since Casper split. Bartender Lonnie has never seen her sober. And that's where we stopped.
All right. Everybody turn their microphones on for real this time.
Too soon, Michael. Too soon.
Sorry. Okay. And with that, I guess we should go back and y'all want to pick up with Carly and Joe and Sister B. Does that sound like a good place to resume our activities?
Sure.
All right. And if I remember right, Joe, you were kind of jaw agape as Carly was on the couch and Sister B was having some revelatory moments. Is that correct?
Yeah, essentially, Sister B shared that she was searching for Richard because he hadn't written or called in an abnormal amount of time. And so Joe is essentially realizing that she doesn't know that he's dead and that they're going to have to tell her. And that's where we stopped.
All right. So, Sister B, you wanna pick it up, or who wants to pick it up?
Let's see.
Get your voice revved up.
Sister B, I'm ready to go. And I said, "Oh, Joe, you look very upset. Why are you so sad looking? And do you need a glass of water or something? I know this is all very shocking to meet someone new. And Carly here, she seems a little better at getting her glass of water and lying on the couch here. And I was going to...
Sister B, you should sit down.
Oh, it seems like perhaps you have... maybe something to say about Richard. I am looking for information on him. I have been searching for a long time and have found out many things, but not enough."
Joe, are you okay talking about this? Do you need me to talk about this?
I can do it, but I'd feel better if you'd sit down. We do have information and we will tell you, but it's not going to be easy.
So Sister B will go to the kitchen and get a kitchen chair, a nice straight back chair, because that's how Sister B moves, and she'll sit in a nice straight back chair, and we'll settle in and we'll putting it up. And he says, "Oh, I will be okay. I can hear most anything. I see in your face that you are very, very concerned about perhaps something about Richard, and I will greatly appreciate anything you could tell me. So, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm all tiny ears."
Richard
Just make sure you're unmuted.
is dead.
What?
He died.
Richard is dead? Oh. She'll start rubbing her chin and look up into the sky, and she's thinking, "Oh, goodness." And she says something in her native tongue for a second, and then we'll come back. And now, tell me the details. I need to hear those.
We don't know exactly what killed him, but it wasn't normal.
Oh, wasn't normal. And when you say not normal, it was not some natural cause. Was it something violent? Were there other people involved? Because there are many people interested in his welfare.
I don't, Carly, can you tell her? I just can't describe it.
Well, Sister B, I don't know firsthand. You have to know this first, that I was told by the people who came with Joe, but it seems that maybe he succumbed to some sort of virus.
Oh, so he caught something terrible, perhaps, or it was given to him. Hold on. Sister B needs to get a kiss from beautiful woman. Sister B feels better now. That is Sister B rolls. So he caught some sort of virus. I don't think he caught the virus. Perhaps it was given to him. But this virus, how did he succumb to it? Was it a feverish thing or something that wore him down over time? I'm very curious about the.
Apparently, he exploded.
What? Exploded? Oh, like he bled from many places. The blood pressure, too much.
No, Sister B. He exploded.
Exploded. That does not happen naturally. This is curious, and this is also. Yes. This is what has happened. That was not Richard. I'm convinced of it now. I had heard several things about his comings and goings, and I even worked out things where I was getting information on him that he was in 2 different places at one time. That isn't possible. People I have known was seeing him, who I trust, in one place, and another person saw him in another place. I think this person who exploded or died in this gruesome manner, it is not Richard. It was not.
It was Richard. It will be easier if you accept it.
No.
A friend who was very close to him introduced me, and I would trust this friend, and he would know if Richard wasn't himself.
Was this the Mr. Rutherford?
No.
Oh, someone else. So I appreciate this, but there's a lot of information I have that he is still around, and I'm going to search for him. I will find him. I'm not so sure this other person that seemed to be Richard was actually Richard. These people who are doing these terrible things have great capabilities to fool many, many people. They are involved with high government officials. And they work for very many big scientists and have many ways to fool everyone. I have a deep suspicion that something deeper and more nefarious is going on, and Richard is too valuable to do away with. He is too smart and has too many things in his head.
So Carly gets really curious and leaning in as you say this, and she says, "But we haven't seen him for weeks. What makes you think there were 2 Richards?"
Oh, like I told you, there was an information that I had gotten in some letters I have gotten, and they were from places where he was not even near here. And then I hear that he has been here for weeks, and it is 4 weeks now that he has been gone. Oh, this is very strange. And then I didn't hear anything from him. But
So you've heard from Richard in the past 4 weeks?
No, I have not. That's what I am here for. I believe he is being kept by some terrible people. My thinking is he was taken by some terrible people, and these very bad people released someone who's not him.
He was taken, and he
Yes.
was released.
Oh, I don't think he got away. I think he is being kept by these people in some terrible manner for the use of his great intelligence and brains. He knows things that are beyond belief. He is very intelligent. Ever since he was little, he knew way too much. Now these things have gotten him in trouble. And these people, we must find out who they are. I know a little bit about them. That's why I am here. I got enough information asking friends through convents through these United States and information that something is definitely going wrong. And my dear Richard, I believe he is still captured and
This
held.
makes no sense. Cully would have known. He would have known.
Who is this Cully?
He's my friend. And he was very close to Richard. And Richard's death was so difficult for him. And how could he have experienced that and not even know that it wasn't Richard that was with him and then died? I can't believe that.
Sometimes when things are so outlandish and preposterous, the brain does not work right. This happened to me back in my country when I was young. Terrible things happened. I could not believe they were happening. When I think back, they seem like a dream and they don't come together in right pieces. Perhaps your friend Cully, because of these terrible things, was in a state of very, very great agitation and unknowing. And maybe these things, that's what these people prey on. This person that they let back out wasn't really Richard. And this person you called Cully, he was so rattled, even he did not know who he was.
Sometimes when people die, you just have to accept that they are gone.
Oh, I believe that very much. And it is wonderful when people die and have lived a wonderful life and they will go to live in a greater place. But this, I don't believe. There is too much going on here, and I will continue my search for Richard. Perhaps you seem like a very, very good person. You will be interested in finding out more to see if this is true or not. I will greatly appreciate it. Perhaps you will help me.
And Carly gets up off the couch and heads to the back of the house.
And I said, oh, Jana, does she seem upset? Or purposeful?
Yeah, she seems to, I mean, she did just faint and she was a little quirky kind of coming out of that, but she does walk with a purpose towards the back of the house.
And I looked at Joan. I said, oh, dear Jana, I think she knows something more than she has told us. I said, let's wait for her to come
Carly?
back.
You mean Carly?
Oh, no, that is Jana. Her name is Jane. Jana is her real name in back in home country, and Jane here, but she changed it to Carly. Her name is not Carly.
I don't think Carly would keep things from me.
Oh, she did not even share her real name. Her name is Jane. I think she uses this Carly name to protect herself, which is a good thing, because there's many, many terrible people who are looking for Richard, and perhaps they will get to Richard through our good Jane. And I think that is good. It will help Richard if Jane stays more hidden.
Keeper, should I make some sort of a roll for how this is affecting me mentally? Because you made such a deal out of how this last month was very good for Joe. And now she's finding out that Carly has lied to her about multiple things.
Let's test out your new sand. Go for it.
Okay.
New sand.
I don't know why I asked for this. That's a fail.
Yeah, that's a miss. I could tell on that one.
Hold on. I'm going to offer this. Sister Vero Pushkin has been in many, many terrible situations with people, and she's a sister. She offers comfort and help, and she has quite often been in these terrible situations. So right away, maybe she sees, because she has a very good psychology. Maybe I could roll for it, but she wants to grab Joe by the shoulders, look her directly in the eye, and try to bring her back from this. Sandy, I'm just saying, like, maybe she can do it with.
Right. You roll psychology to see if you lessen the blow here.
Okay.
What it's worth, it was close.
All right.
Are we horseshoes?
All right, here we go. Oh, it's pretty good psychology roll. That would be.
Oh, the suspense.
Yeah, seriously. Edge of our seat.
A 97.
What?
Oh, shit. Thanks for the help, Sister B.
Oh, Sister B, you have doomed me.
Ah!
All right.
So maybe she doesn't see her as Sister B. I don't know, but she grabs her by shoulder and she looks her in the eye and says, "Oh, dear one, you will be okay. Everything is okay."
And as this stranger grabs you by the shoulders and you're kind of running through everything that's happened in the last month with Carly and all this bond that you've formed and this disconnect between the reality that seems to be Carly and the Jane portion and this nun grabbing you, you can lose 6 points of sanity. Thanks to
God.
you were only going to lose 3, but now you can lose 6. And this your distrust, though, you're leaning into what Carly has told you for this last month. You're very trustful of her, and you become very distrustful of Sister B and all that she kind of represents. So not only do you kind of run into, you start sobbing hysterically, you're really frustrated and scared of Sister B. This is going to leave a tinge of fear or trepidation whenever you run into any sort of Christian artifacts.
Oh, wow.
Fascinating. Oh, no.
No more church for Joe. Well,
No.
no more Catholic churches. Or Russian Orthodox. So you're good. Well, don't go travel too far.
Yeah, well, I broadened it with the whole Christian thing, so it's all covered.
You're welcome. Oh, Sister B is very good at helping people. Not so much.
Sister B, I think there should be a little bit of consequence here as you realize your failure to help Joe and actually the harm that you've just done, Joe.
That does bother her. She's not happy about that.
Yeah. So where would that reflect? What in your
ooh, boy.
I'm thinking your self-confidence. We need a self-confidence roll.
That's kind of like POW, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So you can take off a point of POW as it kind of eats away your inability to help Joe here.
Yeah.
Wow. You can eliminate from stats other than sanity and HP?
I
didn't know that.
You can do anything you want, apparently. No, I was gonna say that happens in D&D. You lose dexterity, constitutions, things like that. So, perfectly valid.
Interesting.
Getting
Sister B, I don't know why you're holding on to this idea, but it's just making everything worse.
Oh, and then Sister B realizes it's too much for Joe, and so she sits down back in her seat, and she's a little upset, and she's, I'm very, 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 very sorry about all of these things. I know you have gone through a great trauma, and you have accepted that he has gone, and for me to tell these things to you is too much. So we will talk
I
about this.
saw his body.
Oh, and
I
she
don't
does
remember if I saw his body.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like you didn't.
And she goes,
okay.
sometimes we
I
see
might be wrong
things
about
that are
that.
not true. That happens in life much. She says, let's go back and find our friend Jane and see what she is looking for. And so Sister B just completely goes from any more talk about Richard and wants to just concentrate on Jane coming back, who may be talking more about Richard, but that's okay.
So are you walking back to the bedroom?
Sister B will see if you're going to be okay on your own. Like you're a little bit rattled
Just
right now.
leave me alone.
Perfect. And so Sister B goes, oh, you are a very, very upset young woman. And she says, yes, I will leave you in quiet. Sometimes that is the most important thing. And Sister B walks back to where Carly was going.
Can you give me a spot hidden, Sister B?
Hot dog.
A hot dog.
And at the same time, I'll just walk into the kitchen and get a glass of water. I'm not going with her.
All right.
Perhaps one of these days, Sister B will get one of her rolls. And it's not that one. Good Lord. She has pretty good rolls in that stuff and hasn't hit one yet.
Okay. So as you walk to the back of the house, you see the door to the room that Carly's in ajar, and you go to poke your head in. And as you do, she's pulling down the back of Stephanie's shirt, and she turns kind of sharply towards you as she does. And she just looks at you. And it's this mix in her face of frustration and fear and questioning.
So considering that Sister B has good psychology, she would read that. And she says, and she realizes just all this information has been too much for the people here. And she says, oh, dear Jana, she says, and you're
Don't call me that.
Oh, and she says, fine, I will call you whatever you need to be called. But it seems you're very upset as well by all this news.
What do you want?
What do I want? I want to hear what you know about Richard.
You've heard. I've been helping that poor girl get together for the last month, and you come in here and you wreck it. What else do you want? That's what happened to Richard.
I see. You have fallen for the things the government is doing, the dupe that they have done. And she says, I am sorry that has happened. She says, I cannot fix that apparently.
No, you can't. And in fact, your presence here only makes it more dangerous.
And she goes, oh, I don't want to put you in too much danger, Miss Jane. And so he goes, I'm going to leave you. And apparently you will not be sharing information and any help that you have. If you do have some, I would greatly appreciate it. You are family. And if you need some help, I will help you. But if it is better help for me to leave, then I will do so.
Okay. She just kind of icily glares at you as you stand there.
And then she goes, so when I find Richard, I will come back and I will tell you where he is. And if I find him sooner, we will send you a letter. And she turns on her heel and she steps out of the room and walks out.
Okay. And as you do, you walk out into like the main part of the house and it's empty. Joe's not there.
Okay. And so Sister B would take that opportunity then to look around and see, look for curiosities or oddities or anything with her.
Sure. I guess give me another spot hidden.
Yep. That's what she was hoping for, something of that nature. And that one she nails big time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a hard success.
Okay. So as you're kind of poking around the house and looking, I mean, the first thing that, of course, comes to your attention is that there's no images of Richard up anywhere. And in fact, there's no images of Carly up anywhere now. That the walls are quite bare in terms of any kind of identification. And you did, when you were in the room talking to Carly, you recognized the dossiers that were laying on the table. Not recognize them as knowing them, but you did see them, and they were maybe peeking out under something on the desk. And what else would you be looking for as you guide me here?
She's looking for any indicators that Jane or Carly, because Sister B has some suspicions about her.
Okay.
She's a half sister, and she wasn't always in. She was staying out of contact and stuff, and she seemed rather distant. From family, and she's wondering if these terrible people who are doing, making this situation have gotten her in their clutches. So she's looking around for indicators of that, where she may be part of the dupe.
Okay, so I tell you what, then I'll I don't know what the term is, but I'll roll that your spot hidden into a little bit more information, which is the child that she's with appears to be between 6 and 8 years old. And if you go back to the correspondence in your mind, so you're kind of rolling back in your mind this correspondence with Richard during that time frame, that it became quite erratic in the months in about that time frame. You wouldn't be able to identify an exact, but you're thinking back that the correspondence became quite erratic, and he kept mentioning things that he had to do that he couldn't talk about. And then after it was probably, roughly 6 months to a year, he wrote back saying very vaguely that as things started to become more regular in his communication again, that things had worked out, maybe not for the best, but they had worked out.
Huh. Okay. And this all corresponds to the age of the young person.
Right. And so you would put that kind of erratic messaging together with Carly's pregnancy and the birth of this child.
Gotcha. And there's no pictures of that time, and there's no pictures of the young child or anything around of that nature.
There's no photographs up anywhere in the house that you've been.
Yeah, because she's very, very careful. Oh, I see. Very well. Okay. So Sister B with Sister B wants to poke her head back into the room, just quickly.
Okay.
To apologize for causing troubles, but she wants to do it quickly so the little girl will turn around. Okay. She wants to see the little girl really careful to see what family resemblance she has, or if she has any, and if she even looks like Jane or Carly.
Okay.
She's looking for something odd in that area about the child.
Okay. So you poke your head back in the room, and Carly turns and gives you kind of another glare, with no really kind of verbal response, just the verbal, or just the visual glare.
And and then at that, she was hoping the little girl would turn around, and she wants to take a really good look at the child and the child's face, to look at expressions and resemblances, hair color, everything of that nature.
Okay. And so as Carly looks back at you, the child does too. And they're spitting images of one another. I mean, That's like this child is definitely in your mind Carly's.
Okay.
The eye structure, the bone structure of the nose, even the shape of the mouth, the kind of fullness of the lips, everything about her looks like Carly. You would have no reason to think she's not Carly's child.
Okay. So she's definitely family. Okay. And so Sister B says, I just wanted one more look at you and the young one, part of the greater family. I hope you feel that you realize there is a greater family of all of us out there, and you are not lost and on your own. And she says, I will bid my farewell to you, and just letting you know that you are held well in other hearts, and not just mine. Richard, he cares for you a lot. He will find you again. And she turns and then walks out.
Okay.
And then she goes back to where Joe is, or if Joe is around, but she said, Joe wasn't there. And then Sister B will go to her suitcase and step out. Doesn't want to be an imposition in the house anymore. Will step out onto the porch with her suitcase. And she'll call out to Joe. And she says, Joe, I hope you'll feel better and reconsider looking for Richard. He is out there. I know it in my heart, and the great one above knows it too. And she steps out into the porch and closes the door behind her.
Joe, you do anything with that piece of information?
I'm actually not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you see my message?
Yeah, no, I saw that you left the house, but I
Okay.
didn't know if you were still in. Okay, so you went walking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Should we cut this scene then?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
We'll have to wait for Sam to show up and cause more trouble.
All right. Then we'll take a break on that note.
Okay, sounds good. Everybody take
Sure.
5-10 minutes, and we'll see you on the other side. We are back from break. Michael, back to you.
All right. So when we last left off, Buddy was trailing Lana down the street, correct?
Buddy and Eddy show.
I don't think we have to encourage that in any way whatsoever.
Encourage all you want.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to Sam. I was not prepared. Okay, yeah. Buddy's tailing her down the street. Yeah. Got it.
Okay. And let's see. And Eddy was finishing up with the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
So
And as soon as I was done with the bartender, I was going to head outside and start looking for my buddy.
okay. Well, you're still talking with the bartender while I'm working with Buddy here for a sec.
Oh,
So
that doesn't sound good.
yeah. So Buddy, you follow Lana down the street, and I'm assuming, right? I kind of drunkenly describe her as using this quarter deck of cards to play. I guess your card, right?
Yep.
And so, she's headed down back towards the locked theater, and you see her kind of disappear down the side of the building.
Okay. I'll wait a beat because I don't want to be, Buddy's very conscious of not wanting to follow a drunken woman into an alley.
Okay.
So maybe even cross the street to the other side, like opposite the alley, and walk by and just sort of glance in on the way by, because I want to know if she's gone into the building and honestly if she's okay, because he doesn't. Oh yeah, but Buddy knows that who she is, right? Yeah, because we talked about the whole show thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there when she flipped
Right.
the table.
Yes.
So make a luck roll then.
Okay. Yeah, that's a success. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check my sheet. Yep, that's a success.
Okay, so she goes. She passes the front of the building, turns, goes down the side of it. You cross the street, and you're standing, and you like peer down, and you see her go back around behind the building.
Okay. I think that's good enough for Buddy. He's going to head back to the bar.
Okay, and so you'll run into Eddy as you head back towards the bar. Then.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, when I'm done with the conversation, I'm just going to go wait outside. I don't want to.
That's what I'm saying. You'll run into each other.
Yeah.
Sir Eddy, sir. She went behind the theater. I'm pretty sure she went inside. But I didn't think it was appropriate to follow a woman down a dark alleyway at night.
Yeah, you're a good guy. You got a lot of honor. I like it. So did you see her go inside? Did you see what door she went into?
No, she went around the back.
Went around the back. Is there anything around the back besides the entrance?
I don't know. I said I didn't want to follow her back down an alley.
Eddy, give me a spot hidden, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt y'all in the middle of that. There was one part I forgot about.
No.
Okay.
And I may have gotten 100.
Oh God.
What?
Oh.
Oh dear.
I really, really didn't see it.
Yeah, that one might cost you.
But
like there's places that like if you roll 100, the keeper really has to figure something out, and then there's places that if you roll 100, it's like, oh shit. This is one of those places that's like you should just be saying, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
What are you gonna do to poor Eddy?
Oh, don't worry, Eddy.
Remember Eddy 10 fingers?
No, I don't want a new nickname.
All right.
Oh my God, he's gonna lose more like fingers as he loses sanity.
It's pretty funny.
Don't worry. You just go on about your day, Eddy. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Oh,
Nothing
All
worse
right.
than a
Hey,
hanging
remember
100.
when I said you were a bad liar?
yeah, this is the worst. So this is what I'm thinking we should do. I think you're right. We don't want to go knocking on her door. She's so drunk, we shouldn't be talking to her anyway. But what do you think would happen if we went there at like 8 o'clock in the morning and started banging on the door? She's probably not going to be drunk. Maybe she'll talk to us then.
I think she might have a little headache at that point.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure to be. I'll use my quiet voice.
Okay, sir. I
Maybe
think
I'll
that's a
even
good
let
idea.
You do all the talking because my quiet voice isn't very quiet.
So where do we wait?
Well, I was thinking I'd go home and go to bed. Maybe you do the same, and then we just meet up in the morning.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a better idea.
What were you gonna do? You're gonna sit outside her place for the whole night?
Well, no, that would have been
Buddy.
creepy. So I thought maybe you had a better idea.
buddy, I love your enthusiasm, but this is time for Eddie Ten Fingers to go to bed.
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
I feel like the fates made me roll 100, and now I got to get the fuck away from the keeper or something.
Ooh.
That's what my voice is saying in my head.
Okay. You are a little older, so okay. I know you need your sleep.
Yeah, I need my sleep. All right, so probably just head out and plan to meet you at 7 o'clock where you described.
Okay. Good night, sir.
Do you think the keeper's less likely to kill you at 8 in the morning than at like 8 at night? I'm just curious about that.
I am ignoring the 100 entirely. I think this is when you show that you're actually a decent human being and you just let it go. So
You've
I
never.
just took 6 points of sanity off Joe,
and I love you because you're such a good human being. So I'll head back, go to sleep, wake up,
Buddy's heading back to
meet
base.
him at 7 in the morning. I'm trying to give you a chance to be a dick, so I keep waiting.
He doesn't need chances.
I'll choose when I.
You'll choose when to insert yourself.
Whoa.
Thank you. All right. So unless anything happens, it's the next morning at 7 a.m. And I'm assuming Buddy shows up.
Yeah.
In the
No, right in front. Buddy's right in front.
All right, perfect. And every time I see you, I'm like, Buddy, and I give you like that same kind of salute that I gave him.
Good morning, sir, Eddie, sir. Saluting. You're not supposed to salute, sir.
Yeah, that's not a salute. That's every time I see you, I got a little itch in my forehead, and I got to get it off.
Oh.
So you're ready to go?
Do you have a rash?
Man. When she saw me, she flipped the table. This time, you're taking lead. You're the man. You're gonna use those investigative skills we've been practicing. You're taking lead. You're gonna knock this one out of the fucking park.
Oh, she kind of scares me.
Yeah, well, if I talk to her, I have a feeling someone's going to get punched in the face, and it's probably me. She's probably not going to punch you in the face because you seem like such a decent guy. So let's go, and I'm going to start just sort of whooshing you along.
Well,
I'm not.
I didn't know punching in the face was on the table. I don't like this idea.
As you're walking along and you're saying this, I'm sort of going, "Let's go! Come on, this is going to be the best thing you ever done." By the time I'm done, you're going to leave the army and join me at the FBI.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll get to the door in the back of the alley.
Is face punching a thing in the FBI? I don't know if I want to do that.
And Michael, what do we see when we get to the back of the alley?
The back of the alley, you take a look for a second, and there's really not much. I mean, it's the backs of some buildings, but then you notice that the way there's stacks of kind of wooden crates, and that if you climbed up them, that you'd be able to get in a window in the back of the theater.
But do we see the door that she was likely, like, is it obvious what door she may have gone to, or is there any way to know, like, does one of them look more residential? Does, you know what I mean? Is there
I think she may have climbed up there.
There's no door on the back of the theater.
I'm sorry, I missed that fact.
It's okay.
I missed that fact.
It's okay.
So
Buddy's got it.
What do we do, buddy? Do we knock on the window?
I guess we go look inside, but I hope she's decent.
As soon as you say that, I'm gonna sort of I'm assuming we're sort of at the window. I'm gonna grab you by the legs.
So there's crates that go up to the window. So we actually have to climb up on the crates.
Oh, so you didn't even need me to pick you up. You just got to walk up the crates. I'm like, all right,
I'm climbing up.
Okay. And then at the top of the crates, right, there's a window. It's closed, but even just kind of looking in, you can tell.
But he's kind of doing one of these things, like peeking in, like he's really worried that he's going to see this woman like in any state of undress.
Okay.
So he's trying to take really small peeks so that if he sees any little bit of it, he can look away real quick.
Okay. It's dark inside. You don't see any kind of light.
Okay. Is the window a push open or a lift up?
Lift up.
Okay. Is it cracked open at all?
No.
All right, I'm going to try and get my fingers under it to see if I can lift it up.
Okay. And yeah, you're able to kind of catch onto it, and that's what I was saying. And you can tell that it's unlocked. The latch is open.
I'll slowly lift it up.
Okay.
And then I'll peek under in case the glass was, causing reflection and making it harder to see him.
Sure. And the first thing that hits you is just kind of a musty smell. Just that smell of the building being closed up for quite a few weeks. Nothing overpowering, but definitely some stale air.
Okay. Eddy, sir, should we just go to the front door and knock?
Well, let me ask you a question. If you were someone who tipped over a table because they were always drunk at the bar, and then you snuck in the back window in an alley, are you going to answer the door if somebody knocks?
If somebody knocks, I would absolutely answer the door.
You. Let's pretend for a second that you're not you, you're me.
Oh, boy, I don't think I could be you. I can't say that many swear words.
Well, let me give you a hint. I'm not answering no fucking door if I'm sneaking around.
See what I mean? That's so many swear words.
So
Michael, is the front door's boarded, right?
It's boarded and locked up.
Oh, okay,
there's a padlock on the front door.
Okay, gotcha.
So what I'm thinking is that we both know how we deal with this. We got to go in the window.
But shouldn't we, because I don't want to surprise her and scare her, and I sure don't want to see her, in a nightgown or anything.
You might see her ankles. Yeah, that's a good point. We definitely don't want to see her in her skivvies. That's a good point. But maybe what we do is we get inside Because here's the thing. If we just start yelling in the window, hey, drunk lady, come here, we got to talk to you. She's not going to come talk to us. She's going to stay away from us, right? So I'm thinking the only way to get her to talk to us is to actually get in front of her face.
But what if that would probably make her mad, right?
Well, I have a feeling she's going to be mad no matter what.
Right,
There's no way to avoid anger.
But what
Sometimes,
if
if
we're
you're
out
be an
here?
Investigator, you got to deal with a little bit of anger. People don't like to be investigated.
But if we're out here and we can kind of talk to her, maybe not surprise her so much, maybe not scare her so much, she might be a little less mad.
You know what? I'm going to give it to you. It's your idea. I'm letting you be my co-investigator. Stick your face in the window, yell out to her, and let's see what she does.
Oh, okay.
And make sure you tell her, if you're in a nightgown, put something on, because I don't want to lose my virginity.
Is that how it works?
Oh, buddy.
Poor buddy.
Because that's not what the guys at the base say. What they say is horrible.
Yeah, that's a topic for another time.
Okay. So Buddy's going to lift up the window so that he can get his head inside. What's her name again?
Lana.
Lana. Hello, Miss Lana. Miss Lana, ma'am. Are you in there? Could you maybe put on a robe and come talk to us, please?
And
It's Buddy from last night and Mr. Eddy, sir.
As you poke your head in, you realize that you're poking your head into quite the small room, and from what you can tell, the light, kind of the ambient light coming through the window, that it's a fairly disheveled dressing room. There's some piles of clothes on the floor, and open things of makeup and things like that. But the door to it's closed. I mean, the whole room in itself, yeah, not very big, but probably like, I don't know, 6 feet by 6 feet or so. It's just a little square.
Oh, Sir Eddy, this is perfect. I think I got this. Buddy opens up the window like all the way, climbs in, walks across the room, and knocks on the door.
So not for nothing, but in the time that he's gone in and started walking across, I'm getting up on the boxes so that I can get my head in the window at least and see what he's seeing.
Okay.
And if there's time from when he starts knocking, I'm going to finish the climb into the room. So depending on timing.
All right. So as you're knocking, you hear a thud on the floor as Eddy kind of flops through the window and onto the floor through the window. No response to your knocking.
Okay. So he'll knock again and say, "Hello, Miss Lana. Can you please come to the door of the room here, ma'am?"
Nothing.
I'm going to say,
Sir Eddy, I don't think she's home.
Buddy, I love what you're trying to do here. You're a decent guy. You're trying to be a decent guy. Let me just put together a different plan. I'll do it. I'm not going to ask you because I don't want you to see something you don't want to see. And then let me try my plan and we'll see if it works. Okay? And I'm going to sort of gently be like moving you to the side. And then I'm going to open the door. And as soon as I open the door, I'm going to step to the side in case something comes shooting in.
Just
guns,
just darkness.
Bullets. Okay.
Darkness.
All right. So I'll take out my flashlight and I'm going to have my hand sort of resting near the gun, but I'm not going to have drawn it yet. So I'm just...
Your light is shining on a wall. So there's a hallway basically outside the door and you're shining onto a wall. It's a narrow hallway. It's probably 3 feet on the other side of the door.
All right. So I'm going to say, all right, buddy. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pick a direction. We'll go together. I'm going to be facing the direction we're going. You're going to be facing the direction we're not going. You're going to be looking behind us. So that way, no one can sneak up behind us, and I'll take us forward, and we'll walk together, okay? So
Okay,
that way,
got
we're
it.
protecting each other.
Which way are we going?
Okay, and this is the other thing, and I need you to be okay with this. I don't want you to draw your gun necessarily, but I want you to have your gun ready to be drawn. So if something happens, and all of a sudden you need your gun out, this is the situation we're in. You okay with that?
Okay, sir.
You're a
So
good man.
he's got one of those old school MP holsters that like has the big flap over the top of it.
Yeah.
So he undoes that flap.
Okay.
So we're both sort of ready to draw. And so then just whatever, left, right, Michael,
Okay.
I mean, it will sort of to the left, start
So,
heading down.
So if
which
you
way are
shine-
you going, Eddie?
Well, we're going together. We're just sort of
Which way are you going,
garden.
Eddie?
Yeah, to the left.
Okay, so you're basically in the middle of the building at this point. If you shine to the left and you shine to the right, the hallway goes in both directions, and it looks like a stair top at the end. So if you're kind of imagining this, you've walked into a room, a dressing room, and then there's a hall that goes to either side that goes to stairs that would go down because you're up about, let's say, call it the second story of the building. It's a theater, so it's and then on either side of the dressing room you're on, it would appear that there's other doors for dressing rooms.
Okay. So just start, I think just start doing like a left-hand search. So every time we come to a door.
Okay, so you go out and go left.
Yeah.
Buddy goes
Okay.
out and goes right.
As soon as I say, buddy, come here. Come here,
Turns
buddy.
around.
We got to work on our directions here. Let's just every time. We're going together. I want.
Okay,
basically
got it.
touch-
He turns around
touch
and he's
your
walking
ass.
behind you.
Touch your ass to my ass.
Excuse me,
trust
sir.
We'll keep our nothing naughty, nothing. There's nothing bad here. So you are going to be like this with me, and we're going to walk, and whatever's coming up from behind us, you'll see it, but you'll be walking with me. So think you're almost shuffling. Do you know how to shuffle?
Are we playing cards?
Basically, it's like cards,
Wait.
but with your feet.
Am I going to lose
So
my
I'm gonna
virginity
sorta-
here too?
That's enough. Just do what I do. So I'm going to sort of loop my arm a little bit around his, sort of make sure his head's facing backwards, and start walking forward, going to a door. Insert exactly. So
All right. So as you move down the hall, do you open the next dressing room?
yep, do dressing room by dressing room. And again, I'm doing the thing where I sort of pop the door, move back a little bit, and then got the holster and the gun sort of ready to go, and I got my light in there. So I'm doing like a good sort of, well seasoned. You can tell I've been doing this for a while.
Okay, so this is another. There's another window overlooking the kind of the back of the building that you came up from, and again another dressing room, and filled with it would seem like more. Your guess would be that these are more of Casper's belongings.
Okay.
Whereas
And
the
I'm
last
opening the
one
door
was-
for what it's worth enough so that if someone were trying to like hide behind the door is going right to the all the way open state. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and then shining the light down around underneath things. So if someone's trying to hide, I'm trying to suss out everywhere that they could be hiding.
Okay. And these remember, these aren't very big dressing rooms,
Okay.
right? Like little 5x5 box. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Uh,
just every door that we come to, I don't know if you want to be.
that's
like
it.
tedious, I just-
Those are, I mean,
door by door.
this is the last door as you move down the left-hand side of the hall. The next thing in front of you would be the stairwell down.
Okay. So then I'm
But is there
gonna say,
another
all right,
door the other way?
Yes.
Should we check
I-
the other door?
That's a good plan. And now we're going to do the
Are
opposite.
you going to touch
You're
my
gonna go
butt now?
forward. I'm going to touch my ass to your ass. And then you're going to lead. You're going to go in and you're going to do the same thing. Get your hand ready on your gun in case you got to draw it. Get the door open, move back in case something comes out. Get the door open all the way so that no one can hide behind it. And then get the light around. And who knows? If she's crazy enough and she's still drunk, she might throw things at your head.
Is she going to punch me in the face? I don't like that.
You might punch you in the face, so you got to be ready to duck.
Oh, no. All right,
right, let's
so
go.
flashlight,
Cheek to
going
cheek.
forward. And I'll
Okay.
pop open the
And
door.
so-
Same
Yep.
way that Eddie did.
Okay.
Slightly
And-
clumsier.
Yeah, when you open this one, the room's fairly empty. It's another dressing room, but there's not really much of anything in there. Just like it looks like a article of clothing maybe against the corner. Pretty empty room otherwise.
I didn't get punched in the face.
That's a good thing. You're doing a good job here. You're basically ready to join the FBI. You're so good at this stuff.
I don't know if I want to do that
now
with
we
all
got
the
to go
face
down the stairs.
punching and virginity losing.
You tell me what you're more comfortable with, because I want to do the right thing for you here. Do you want to go down the stairs and start searching with your flashlight and I'll protect you? Or do you want me to go down the stairs first and you got to go down looking backwards, which is a little bit clumsy for you?
I'll go first.
There you all right, I got you. So I'll, again, it's really, playing the support role, looking around, scanning, sort of looking forward, backwards. Like I'm sort of doing a full sort of scan, trusting that Buddy is doing the sort of forward thing.
Yep, I'm doing my security thing going forward.
Okay.
Go down the stairs.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're headed down the stairs, and essentially the stairs are a closed staircase. They start going down, and then they cut back towards the back of the theater again. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so as they cut back down towards the back of the theater, you arrive in what feels like there's heavy curtains to your right, and you can shine your light and you can see your backstage, essentially, like backstage.
So as I get down there, I'll sort of peek out and say, "Hello, Miss Lana. Are you here? Miss Lana lady, please don't punch me."
And there's no response. There's just kind of, as you move, right, that heavy drapery flaps just ever so slightly. Your light's kind of cutting through the dust as it comes up. There's no lights, and you can make a listen roll.
Okay.
Both of us?
We'll just do Buddy for the moment.
Listen that's a hard success.
Okay, and there's most certainly no noise whatsoever. There's no breathing. There's no creaking. There's a very intense lack of sound all around you.
The one time I make a perception-based roll, there is nothing to observe. Okay.
Just excellent. But if you'd missed it, you'd have heard nothing but been unsure about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, Buddy, hold on 1 second. I want to do something. And I'm going to sort of look in front of us, because we're still, I don't know, we're still probably on the stairs, and so where we haven't walked yet, I want to shine the light and I want to look to see if there are any foot tracks or anything disturbing the dust, because you said the dust was pretty thick.
No, just like like as you bump the curtain, there's dust in kind of the light beam of the flashlight.
There's no dust on the floor.
No, there's no heavy layer of dust. But are you on the stage now?
Yeah, I would say we're probably like in the doorway, like just onto the stage.
Yeah, so I mean, as you shine your light, you don't actually have to look for dust, because there's all these odd shapes drawn in a white substance on the floor, there's some circles. There's some that look like a rather intricate star. There's obviously been your best guess right offhand would be that some sort of ritual has taken place here or was attempted to.
So so that I'm clear, the white substance was used to draw the shapes, not that it was laid down and then a pattern drawn in it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
Eddy, what's that?
Is there any chance I recognize it from? Obviously, I've been doing research. I've been sort of getting ready for the case. Is there anything that I would recognize from this?
Make an occult roll.
An occult roll.
And safe to say, Buddy hasn't seen anything like this.
Yeah, no.
Cool. I got a 15 and my occult is 5. I would have to spend 10 luck points.
That's a lot of luck.
That's a lot of luck. That's too rich for
kind
my
of a
blood.
big deal, though.
Okay. All right. So I would say that, the most you're able to kind of ascertain is that what I said earlier, right? Is that somebody's been attempting some sort of ritual here.
Yeah.
And
right.
it doesn't register what it would be, but
I'm gonna
it's certainly.
take out.
Hang on.
Okay.
The hairs on the back of your neck, they raise a little, right? Which takes something for you, but
Yeah.
you're feeling a little off.
Little off, definitely. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a couple pictures. I got my trusty little camera here. We'll have to get them developed in town. So do me a favor and just keep that gun ready, because this is some weird shit.
Actually, Buddy's going to take out a notebook and draw it.
I don't know if a notebook is a gun.
Sir, I don't think that the sugar there is gonna attack us. I just want to make sure I remember these shapes. This seems important.
It does seem important, but maybe the camera with the photographs might also help.
But that can take a couple days to get back.
There's no Kodak Instamatic booths here
In 1942, no, I don't think so. So yeah, Buddy's just gonna draw the shapes in his notebook.
Okay.
All right, and I'll snap a couple pictures.
Okay. There's in the midst of this too. I should point out that also what you're seeing, it's not just these shapes, but also it looks like a lot of props from the magician show, like kind of stacked in strange ways. Since neither of you've seen the show, I don't think it would. Like there's kind of the sawing of the person in half thing. It's shoved off to the side. There's some doorways that are just freestanding, that are kind of leaned. The doors are leaned to an open. As you're kind of flicking your light around, you either one of you have a reason or an interest in magic.
Not like illusion magic, but like sleight of hand card tricks. Remember, Buddy said he thought card tricks were great. So
okay.
But that's not like he's not going to be performing or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're shining your light around and you're seeing these kind of they seem like objects that would make sense in a magic show, as the props.
Did I say that I went to a magic show in Albany? I feel like I might have said that because Buddy was really excited to try to go to the magic show. And I feel like there was something about, right?
Give me
maybe
an
you
intelligence.
tried to go to one.
Give me either. Why don't you give me an intelligence roll?
All right, that looks like a success.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a success. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The one thing, Buddy, that you kind of notice as you're flicking your flashlight about is that there aren't any mirrors, and it just seems odd to you.
Okay. Interesting.
You keep shining.
I'll write some notes around the drawings of whatever the box here and door over here and no mirrors.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to, unless there's something major you want to do at this moment, I am going to leave y'all in suspense for a moment, including Eddy's 100. Don't you worry, Eddy. I've got that one written down, buddy.
Good.
I would
want to make sure you don't forget about it.
I won't. And I bet that Emily in her recap next week will remind me of it too. I want to cut back to where Joe is.
That is totally fine, but I was just thinking that Sam hasn't done anything tonight.
We're going to cut back to where Joe is.
Okay, that's fine. So after the conversation with Sister B, Joe is just thinking a lot about death and loss. And she truly thinks that Sister B is just protecting herself by not admitting that Richard is dead, because Joe, would have loved to be able to do that, but she could not. There was no hiding from what happened. But with all of this on her mind, for the first time, she decides to walk across town and walk down her old street.
Okay.
And she stops across from her old house.
I'm gonna catch you before you get there. And
Okay.
as you're walking down the street outside of Carly's house, you're going to see a familiar truck rumbling down the road.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and you'll actually hear the truck first because he's got the radio on, and so you got
Oh God.
you got a just a little tune.
Too loud.
Baby, you think of me when you're all alone. Maybe the one.
I could
It
have.
was, oh, hey, Joe. Hey there. Hey, Joe. How you doing? How are you?
Joe, can you make a sand
Wow.
roll for having to hear that?
I think Art needs to make a sand roll for having heard that.
I could have kept going. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, that's surprising.
Wow.
Oh, what?
Oh, I thought you were doing a burn.
I didn't mean you
Okay.
actually had to roll on that. I was just joking.
I wasted a one.
You
I don't
did.
know. I felt pretty affected.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So Sam
We
rolls
could have
up.
been standing in front of my old house.
So Sam will pull up and he'll say, "Joe, is that you?"
Oh, hi, Sam. What are you doing here?
I was just making my usual visit here, checking in, seeing how things are going over here in Abbey Q.
Well, it's been a pretty weird day.
I don't like the sound of that. What's going on there?
Do you want to get out of your truck and stay a while?
I can. Well, I was heading to the homestead there. Do you want me to give you a lift back home, or where you going?
Oh,
Where you going? I can give you a lift wherever you're going. We can chit chatter.
I was just gonna take a little time alone. As I said, it was a weird day. Somebody came to visit, and I don't know how to describe her. Well, she was a Russian nun.
A Russian nun.
Sam, you sound funny.
It's been a while since Sam's been Sam. Russian nun. So good.
Wasn't there
Okay.
a character in one of those Rankin and Bass Christmas specials with puppets that had that voice?
Is she still? Is she still? Is she? Yep. Is she still home?
Oh no. Okay. I left because I needed to just get away. She was still in the house when I left, and she was going to talk to Carly again. And Carly, I was really unhappy too. I don't know how to explain everything, but essentially, she says she's Richard's sister,
Who? The Russian nun?
the Russian nun. She
Get
says she's
outta
Richard's
here.
sister. She says Carly's only his half sister, and Carly agreed.
Oh,
And that Carly has a different name.
are they spies, Sam?
How would I tell?
Well, have you seen them jotting down any information? Maybe leaving at odd hours, dropping off packages.
Oh, you mean
Something-
Carly?
Either of
No,
them,
she's
I don't
not a
know.
spy.
I mean, these Ruskies helped us certainly there right now, but I don't know how much you can trust them.
Carly's been so wonderful. I trust Carly.
Has she lied to you yet, Sam? Joe? I'm Sam. You're Joe. Joe?
I mean, I don't know if you'd call it a lie. I mean, she didn't tell me that her name wasn't Carly, but I don't even know if I believe this Russian woman. I mean, and she did agree that she was Richard's half-sister, but a half-sister's still a sister. I don't think she's lied to me.
But it sounds like it's a half-truth at the very least. From a
At least
half-sister.
half.
Yeah. Well, I pass it to you here. Do you want to head on to where you're going? Where I'm happy to drive you and accompany you, give you some time to reflect, and we can chitter chat about this, or I can head on over and start to see what's going on there with this Russian nun.
It's not very far. I'm just going to walk around town a little bit, but
Is that okay?
if
You're okay walking around
could-
town?
you know, I used to live here.
Yeah, but you seemed a little hesitant. Of you've kind of come to an accord with those here in town. Has your nerves settled?
I mean, I haven't really had the nerve to talk to the people in town yet. I haven't really gone out much, but I talked about it a lot with Carly, and she says that nobody blames me. But I don't know. But I'm not going to go see people. I just, I don't know. I just wanted to walk by my old house.
Oh, have you been there since everything?
No.
Would you like to go with company?
Do you think you could make that Russian lady leave?
Oh, I sure as hell can.
Because she thinks that Richard is still alive. And I think she's just deceiving herself, but
I've seen some pretty unusual things these past few weeks, but I based on everything I saw passing by that scene and what I've read, there's no more Richard, that's for sure. But I'm happy to go there and scope out this Russian nun and see what's what.
I just want to make sure Carly's okay.
You sure?
She fainted. I've never seen her that.
Has she been ill? She having a fever? Is there anything going on with her I need to be
No.
worried about? Okay.
No.
All right. She everyone's acting otherwise above board. Is that right?
Carly's been great.
Okay.
I don't know what I would have done without her.
Perfect. Well, then I'll head on over and you scope out, take the time you need, and I'll see what's what with this Rusky.
It's good you came, because I don't know what to do
Sure.
about her.
Happy to do so. There, Joe. You have yourself a wonderful little walk. Come on back when you're feeling up to it. And at that point, I'll pop it into gear and pop the radio back on.
Right, so Joe's headed across town, and I think what we'll do then is Joe will be arriving, well, shortly will be arriving across the street from her house. We'll have Buddy and Eddy in the theater, and we'll close with Sam, the country music coming out the windows and him singing as his brake lights come on and he pulls up alongside Sister B.
All right. That is going to do it for us tonight. You can find us online at underthelibrary.com, on Twitter, under the LIB, Instagram, under the library. Until next time, for me, for Michael, for Rick, for Wayne, for Emily, for Scott, and for the absent Chris, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.